Okay, we're going to call to order the September meeting of the Economic Development Commission. We'll do the roll call. Director McLaughlin. Michelle House.
Here.
Tony Otto here. Gada Fahmy.
Here.
JP Hatchbaum.
Here.
Larry Calvert.
Here.
Ethan Tudor-Leon. Patrice Gallagher. Trustee Kumar. And Michael Murray. Okay. We have quorum. We can get started then. If everybody's had a chance to look over the June minutes, if I could get a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moves on to new business, business retention visit status. It was June, I think, the last time we met. Were we going to be doing a cover letter? Or, I mean, the cover letter was done, was that sent out to the prospective?
Those were sent out August 1st.
Okay,
I believe, and everybody got a copy of their letters.
okay.
I think I was the only one that got a response
Oh,
from what I heard last meeting, so
Okay.
Oh, good for you.
yeah.
I didn't get any.
I was like surprised. I'm like, oh, you're responding.
Okay. I don't know, what, any thoughts on what should, so are we
could probably
move
send
forward if we don't get a response? Is that,
Maybe send a follow-up if we can do that. You never know. Second letter, maybe.
thoughts? Again, I mean, that was kind of why we did that cover letter, so to try and break the ice.
Just show
individually.
Yeah, maybe just show up next. Either show
Okay.
up or send another letter.
Okay. Yeah, or at least maybe make contact, try and make an appointment. See how that goes. I know before the cover letter, I did not have much luck with trying to make contact with a couple of the businesses, even diligently trying, unfortunately.
Do we have the list of what we signed up for?
That's what I was wondering because I forgot the third one. I knew the first one.
Well, you should have copies of all those letters in your email. When I
Oh, okay.
sent
Oh,
out,
in
you
the
got a
email?
copy of that one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, back in
I'll
August,
find that
Okay,
out.
those were sent out August 1st then?
Okay.
you might have gotten like the 28th or 29th of
July.
July,
July.
but they were mailed out on August 1st.
Okay,
And I emailed each one of you a copy of what business had your name on it.
Yeah, so I did one more visit because I got a response, so, for,
Who did you get
Mokahate.
Okay.
He didn't really have any major concerns, things were going good. so.
which, what business was that?
The taco place, Mokahate, right next to
Okay,
McDonald's there.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
He's trying to get a liquor license, that was his only major concern, so I told him how to do that, so. Can't do it for him.
Okay, good. Anything else under business retention visit status? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to TIF grant programs. So is this a presentation that we have?
So I can kind of give an overview of the 3 programs that we are proposing. So these would be eligible for TIF districts only. And there's 3 different grant programs that we have drafted at this point. A facade improvement program that would be for the exterior of the building, a tenant improvement program which would be for interior build out, and then a site improvement program, so everything outside the building, parking lots, landscaping, ADA accessibility, other sidewalks, trash enclosures, things like that. So each of them, if you kind of flip through them, have a similar layout, but I can kind of go over each of them individually, and then if you have any questions, concerns, improvements, we're happy to hear those and make changes if appropriate. We would be looking for a positive recommendation to the board if this is something that you feel comfortable with, to move forward with. So, starting with the facade improvement program, this would be done as a grant reimbursement with the village, and TIF dollars matching 50% of the design and improvement costs. All properties within the TIF district would be eligible. Reimbursements would be in amounts between $2,500 and $25,000. So minimum projects would be $5,000, and we would refund up to $25,000. That's not saying that your project can only be $50,000, but we would only be refunding a maximum of $25,000. That amount was chosen because anything greater than that has to be approved by the board. And so we're trying to keep it at a staff level so we can be more responsive to businesses that are proposing projects to try and get some revitalization occurring within each of these categories. Applicants would have to be either the property owner or lessee of the property. We do want the facade to face a right-of-way or be visible from a right-of-way, so we're spending dollars on portions of the building that are visible, not something on the back corner that no one's going to see in an alley. Both existing and new commercial buildings would be eligible. If the property has an unresolved code enforcement issue, it would not be eligible, except for if the proposed project would address that code enforcement case. A maximum of $25,000 would be reimbursed within any 5-year period, but we would consider things above that on a case-by-case basis. And obviously the grant agreement would have to be approved prior to any costs being requested for reimbursement. We did break down.
Say that again?
The grant agreement would have to be approved prior to the village giving any reimbursement dollars.
Okay.
There are certain things that would be eligible for improvements, and then another category of things that wouldn't. So things that would be eligible: masonry restoration, exterior painting, facade construction, repair or treatment, historic renovation or architectural features, exterior demolition with associated new improvements, newer replacement storefront systems, doors, windows, parapets, coping and trim, awnings or shutters, steps, porches or railings, roof replacements, exterior lighting, except for in parking areas because that'll fall under the site improvement, permanent outdoor dining enclosures, including fencing, pergolas, patios, bollards associated with that dining area, and signage. Things that we wouldn't be paying for are routine maintenance, site improvements, because that falls under a different program, interior improvements, because again, that falls under a different program, security systems, fire alarms, mechanical equipment, seasonal outdoor dining improvements that would be relocated or movable, anything not visible from a right-of-way, and anything that would be inconsistent with current codes. As part of the reimbursement, we would cover architectural and engineering fees, permits and fees, materials and construction labor. And then there is a grading scale that we would be reviewing projects against. That's on page 3, starting on page 3. So there's 6 different categories: need, scale, building materials, building prominence, use, and relocation. And you have to get half of the available 60 points. We did try to pick some different locations around town to see, what would this mean? Would this project, if we picked a certain use, would this qualify? And that seemed to be feasible, requiring half of the points. Then there's some of the different terms, which we tried to make, hopefully easy enough to achieve. We do want to see bids from different quotes coming in from those applicants. The village would reimburse based on the lowest bid. However, that does not mean that you have to go with the lowest bid if that's not the contractor that you want to go with. It would just be what we would reimburse that amount to. The steps across all the programs are the same. Submit your application. We would review and then give you grant approval if the your application qualifies. You would go through the permitting process, have all your inspections, and then we would reimburse the grant at the end. We created the application checklist, and so
And these are for any TIF district, these are proposals for any of the TIF districts
Correct.
in the town, okay?
yes.
So this, currently there is like a facade improvement
So
program.
this
I
would
think, in the-
replace it.
Right, because some of these things are, it's more extensive than what it already covers currently, right?
How is it different?
So the current one is very basic, and so this is, I think, covering a wider variety
Yeah.
and I think a higher dollar value.
Yeah, higher
As
dollar,
well.
values. Things like tuck pointing were not allowable before,
Mm-hmm.
certain things like
Okay.
that, so.
Was it utilized often previously? Okay.
It seems like St. Charles, I know on Villa Avenue, a few people did, it's St. Charles Road, Lunar Brewing got new windows in last year, it looks like the drum shop and some of that.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Some
not
people
sure if they
had.
got a grant to
Okay,
do
I was
it.
gonna say, it looked, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure of that, I do know
Mhm.
Lunar did, or that building.
If these get approved, I think the village's intention is to really get this out to
Push
the
it out
business
more.
community.
Mhm.
Because we want revitalization, we
Right.
want buildings to improve, we want businesses to be successful, we want businesses coming into Villa Park.
Mhm.
And that's the goal with creating something like this.
Makes sense to me.
How are we gonna push it out and like promote it?
So, newsletter, website, social media, if you have other suggestions, we're happy to,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha, okay.
anything we can.
Yeah. Okay. Make it part of our visits.
Absolutely, yeah.
Could be a
Any-
good foot in the door, actually.
Right, yes. Are there any comments on this one? Or do you wanna go through all three and then,
You wanna go through all three? So I'm just quickly looking through, are the, like the amounts the same in the point program, the same?
so the amounts are the same across all three.
Okay,
Okay.
The grading scale is different because the things that we're grading on are different because they cover different things. So let's go to the tenant improvement one next. Same amounts as we said. We're trying to incentivize certain businesses, still all within a TIF district. Eligible business types, restaurants, breweries, bars with indoor dining rooms, all retail. Creative arts or entertainment uses, auto dealerships, but only in TIF 3, and hotels. There are some ineligible business uses as well. Those are outlined, but delivery, carryout, or drive-through only. Service uses, automotive, bodywork, paint repair, design showrooms, professional or medical office, banks and financial institutions, funeral homes, and tobacco and alternative tobacco would not be eligible. As far as things that would be, if you're an eligible business and you're looking to do an improvement, things that would be eligible: interior demolition or shell reconstruction, drywall, permanent plumbing, permanent electrical improvements, HVAC or mechanical, flooring, permanent lighting, permanent equipment such as a kitchen, interior doors, things that would achieve compliance with the Illinois Accessibility Code, water and sewer service upgrades and or replacement. Things that wouldn't be eligible are just routine maintenance, painting or wall coverings, artwork, furniture, removable fixtures, non-fixed equipment, so things that tenants that move out could take with them. As far as the grading, there are 5 categories for grading on this one: need, location, scale, activation of vacant space, and use. Again, you have to get half, so 25 points out of the 50 available. Still requiring the 3 quotes, we would reimburse at the lowest quote. But again, that doesn't mean that you have to go with the lowest bidder. Are there any questions on that one, or I can go to the site improvement one?
Yeah, let's move on to the third one.
Okay, so, for this one, same amounts, 2,500 to 25,000. Things that would be eligible for reimbursement on this one, parking lot replacement, not including seal coating or striping, so milling and actually replacing the full parking lot. Landscaping, including at the addition of parking lots, screening, foundation plantings, landscaping around your ground sign, removal or replacement of invasive or diseased plant material, trash enclosures compliant with code regulations, lighting for parking lot illumination, ADA accessibility, and sidewalk replacement. Things that would not be covered, routine maintenance of the above listed things, interior improvements, because that's covered under the tenant improvement program, exterior building improvements, because that would be covered under the facade improvement program, and replacement of dying or dead existing landscaping. If it's diseased and dying, that's a different story, that would be covered, but you have to maintain your landscaping. We're not gonna just be replacing landscaping that's not maintained. For this one, there's 5 different grading, need, scale, code compliance, use, and relocation. Again, you have to get half of the available 50 points.
Can a business apply for all 3
Yes.
and receive all 3?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And are they one time only?
It's a maximum of 25,000 within a 5-year period,
Okay.
but then after that, you could get more
And it's 25 per,
per grant.
Per program.
So you could do 75
75,
if
okay.
you're doing everything.
Yeah, $150,000 or more in improvements of
Exterior,
of
interior, and site,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
A full, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you're a new business and you're coming into
And you
a
wanna- yeah.
a
take
location
advantage.
that really needs some assistance, you know, here's $75,000 to help you
Okay.
improve that property.
Are these amounts, I know one of the reasons you said is because if the amount was more, it would have to go in front of the board.
Correct.
It still has to go in front of the board for,
So I think we have to confirm, but it should be able, if the board approves the programs at these amounts, we should be able to not
Do it at
have
staff
them.
level.
Yeah.
and then my last question for right now would be, are these comparable to neighboring communities in these areas, or are we a little lower?
So, there was one, funnily enough, right before this, like over the weekend, Arlington Heights announced one, and it was actually lower.
Okay.
So, it's
How about
it's
for
in
like
line.
Lombard or?
I would have to double check. We can look into that.
Okay, I just was wondering,
Yeah.
I mean, I know these are, it's a decent amount of money for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And I might have missed this, is this available right now? It's active?
No,
No.
There is a,
there's a facade
Facade
improvement
improvement.
program, but it's
Okay.
not as extensive. There is no tenant or site improvement program. So these would be new
Okay.
things. The proposed facade improvement program would replace our existing facade improvement program. Cause I think that one's only for a smaller
I think it's for
area.
like, yeah, I would say one, it's only, I think Villa Avenue and maybe there's some sort of program for Ardmore.
Mhm.
And it's
This-
less money.
Right, and this would be for all TIF districts,
Mm-hmm.
any site
So
within the TIF.
what needs to be done to like make this active now so that we could start?
So a positive recommendation to the village board.
Okay.
We would be taking this next Monday to the board if we received a positive recommendation here. And then it's based on their review of the programs, if they have any changes, and then adoption by the village board.
Okay.
Okay, so are we, tonight we're gonna probably take a vote, I mean, we could do a vote.
If you're
for
comfortable,
recommendation.
we
So,
would
Yeah.
like to try and get this to the village board, to try and get this.
Does anybody have any
active.
discussion that they would like to bring up, pro or, any discussion?
I think it's greatly needed, so.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, people taking advantage of it, it definitely improves the area and makes it, you start with one person, brings in others, and the whole area will improve. It is nice to see some other programs that, the facade improvement covers much more. The interior, I don't think there's anything really, Ardmore has, again, a certain program, I think like a grant, where you could use some of the money interiorly, but it is nice to have some, have those options. So on my end, it seems like something I would be behind and recommend to the board.
You might have covered this, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is there a limit to the number of businesses or
So it's just based on TIF funding,
TIF
so,
funding, okay. first come, first served?
What was
Basically.
it, 10 million was it or something?
yeah, so there's a lot of money in the TIF. We would try to budget for a certain number of projects that we think could happen each year.
Right.
But we want to help businesses, so
Right.
the goal is to use that TIF funding
Okay.
for programs like this.
Exciting.
And is there any like timeline, like use it or lose it type thing, like we have to use it in 10 years, or is this always there?
So it's just the TIF.
TIF expires in 21 years.
21 years, okay, gotcha.
So
They all expire at the same time now?
they don't, because they've been adopted
Right. Yeah.
across the board,
No,
and
there's-
I'm not sure what
Okay.
The newest
where all
one would
they
be
are.
the
same.
all-encompassing, like St. Charles,
Yeah.
from
Wow.
the Union down
That's
north
the
on Village
one
to
that was
St.
just
Charles.
TIF 7.
kind of districted.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would the money be awarded after the construction is completed, or is it?
They have to pay off the project and the contractors and file waivers of lien
Okay,
as part of their submission for reimbursement. So
okay.
the business would have to pay
100%.
everybody.
100%
And then
fair.
we would reimburse up to the 25,000.
So they're getting a bank loan, that's gonna be the payoff, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
If approved.
great.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll take another minute or so to think about it, and then,
So can we kind of maybe circle back to, I'm drawing a blank on your name, I'm sorry.
JP.
JP. I'm old. So JP's comment about marketing and things like that.
Yeah.
So you said the website and
The village newsletter.
the newsletter.
Social media.
Okay. Is the, like, choose the page, is that still?
Yep,
So maybe,
yep. You can-
use them as well?
Yep.
Promote it throughout the county
mhm.
for businesses that might be
Yep.
interested in
Great
relocating
idea. Yeah,
to Villa Park. And then also maybe if we have kind of some firms locally that we know that do business with some of the entities here, such as some of the local banks, letting them know that this is available, maybe to their clients, you know.
that's some kind of partnership there.
Yeah, as well as maybe accounting firms locally, local architects, and construction firms.
maybe even lawyers. I mean, if
Yeah.
business, if we're
Yeah.
gonna hit all encompassing.
Well, and those are professionals that local businesses might interact with, and they can then,
Or if
point
someone's
them in the
moving into
direction
town,
of,
right, hey, if you're gonna move in, this grant is available.
or even if you're already here, doing your taxes, hey, did you know that
Yes.
Villa Park has these funds available for
Yeah.
improvements, and things like that? So
Yeah.
maybe add in some of those professionals
Absolutely.
locally,
Mhm.
as well as whatever DuPage is calling themselves now, to choose
So
DuPage or
Yeah.
whatever.
So we could probably use like the DuPage Credit Union
Yeah,
and see if they could offer like lower interest rates for businesses that get this done or something, you know?
Good ideas.
that was my only comment.
Okay.
Just another few seconds, and we'll take a vote if, in favor or to recommend or not to recommend? All right, why don't we take a vote on that? Is that something we can do then? Okay.
Motion to recommend approval to the
Yeah.
board.
Can I get a motion to recommend?
Motion to recommend approval to the board.
A second.
Okay. Let's do
All in favor?
that. Do you want it, should we do a roll call vote?
Yes.
Okay. Tony Oto is a yes. Gotta? Fahmy?
Yes.
JP Hashbaum?
Yes.
Larry Calvert?
Yes. Excuse me.
And I'm sorry. Who's your?
My name is John Drogas.
John. I know.
I'm technically a guest today.
Oh, okay.
Hopeful.
Yeah, Nick told him to come in today. He
Yeah,
applied.
sorry, I did. Okay, so that passes. So we will recommend to the board. That will
We'll
be
get that prepared and hopefully have it at the board on the 23rd.
Great. I don't see any other new business. That would move us on to public comments. You had anything maybe you want to say? I guess you.
Well, yeah, so I'm hoping to join the commission. My name is John Drogas. I've been a resident here for a little over 10 years now. I've been an architect for about 20 years, worked in the construction industry, so I do know a lot of dealing with economic development and working with different cities and boards across the country. So I'd like to think some of my expertise can help out with some areas here. So
Wonderful, John. Thanks for having us. Hopefully we'll see you regularly.
yeah.
No other public here. Move on to commissioner comments. So if we'll start with Larry.
No, I don't have any comments.
Huh?
No.
JP.
I kind of think we should rethink our business retention visits based on the TIF district. Like really focusing on our visits being on those businesses, because then I
Okay.
think that'll push out the word faster and we'll get in the door a lot easier,
Okay.
you know?
Well, we're almost at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is
Yeah, we don't have
it's
to
a new
jump into
program.
it, just
But I
not-
mean, for next
yeah.
year, I think that's a great idea for when we choose new ones
Yeah.
here in a
Mhm.
couple of sessions. Anything else, JP?
I think that's it.
Got it?
No, I don't have anything today.
Okay. I don't really have anything either. Then I did see a nice write-up about JP, and that I saw it promoted. Trustee Patrick put it out. I don't
Yeah.
forget exactly where it was written at. Was
It was
the
on
Village Matters?
his page.
On his
Kevin,
page, okay.
or- yeah.
It was a nice write-up, so maybe anybody wants to take a look at it. It learned a lot about a fellow commissioner, that didn't know. So, all good stuff. Other than that, I don't have anything. It was nice to meet. We've had a little break, but it's summertime, so maybe we can get some good stuff done for this last quarter of the year. And that's all I have on commissioner comments. Village board liaison comments. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
No.
Pat? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn then?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor? Aye. All right.